Imagine looking into a dark, endless space. It shows the vast universe and our small place in it. This image captures the main idea of nihilism. This is a belief that life has no real meaning, purpose, or value. From this view, things that usually give meaning, like religion and morality, fall apart. This leaves people facing a great emptiness. The effects of nihilism can be very heavy. It can bring feelings of despair, worry, and a lack of purpose. If nothing matters, then what is the point of trying, achieving, or even living? This big question has worried philosophers for many years. It starts talks about what is real, the worth of human life, and if we can find meaning in a world that feels empty. At its heart, nihilism rejects social norms, religious beliefs, and philosophies that try to give life meaning. It suggests that these ideas are just human-made and not important in the vast, uncaring cosmos. For those who believe in nihilism, discovering that traditional sources of comfort and meaning are false can be shocking, but also freeing. This realization challenges us to face the emptiness and deal with the freedom and responsibility of creating our own meaning in a world without purpose. Nihilistic ideas have appeared in many ways throughout human history. They first showed up in ancient Greece through the doubt of Pyrrho and the beliefs of Diogenes. However, in the 19th century, German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche made nihilism more popular. He started many discussions about it. Nietzsche is known for saying, "God is dead." He believed that the focus on reason and science during the Enlightenment took away the basic parts of traditional morals and faith. He thought this would lead many people to feel a sense of nihilism as they dealt with the idea of losing meaning and value in their lives. Although Nietzsche was not a nihilist himself, he viewed it as an important stage in how people think. He thought it was a strong force that would help lead to a new understanding of values and fresh meanings. His ideas continue to shape how we talk about nihilism today. They help us think about its effects in a fast-changing world filled with new technology, cultural changes, and big questions about our place in the universe. The meeting point of spirituality and nihilism is a tricky problem. How can someone look for spiritual understanding in a world with no natural meaning? This question has sparked many discussions in philosophy and religion. It challenges old ideas about faith, purpose, and what it means to be human. Some people think that nihilism doesn't stop spirituality. Instead, they believe it can help people grow spiritually. By accepting that there is no given meaning, individuals can create their own values. This allows them to find their own way to spiritual enlightenment. The search for understanding in a world that seems empty often starts when people face the sadness that comes from knowing life may not have a clear meaning. This time can feel very dark. Many individuals struggle to cope with the emptiness left by a lack of a set purpose. Yet, some philosophies and spiritual beliefs say this sadness can lead to deeper understanding. By accepting that nothing lasts forever and letting go of the need for outside sources of meaning, people can find inner peace. They can also connect more truly with what is happening right now. The journey toward understanding often prioritizes personal experience over complex beliefs. It encourages mindfulness, self-awareness, and kindness. By focusing on the present, even when life feels meaningless, individuals might find a deep sense of freedom and release. Spiritual beliefs and nihilistic views often seem very different. Spirituality is about finding meaning, feeling a connection to a higher power, and believing in a world beyond what we can see. Nihilism, on the other hand, says there is no real purpose in existence. It believes that any meaning we have is something we made up. This shows the clear difference between these two views. Spirituality tries to uplift human existence by linking it to something bigger. Meanwhile, nihilism focuses on what is real and true in our lives, without any divine or metaphysical support. Even though these differences seem huge, some people believe that thinking about nihilism can actually improve our spiritual views. By facing the idea that life might be meaningless, people might want to rethink their own beliefs. This can lead them to question strict rules, so they can build a deeper and more genuine connection with their spirituality. Philosophers have thought a lot about nihilism over time. They have offered a range of views about its difficult ideas. Some reject it completely, while others accept it in part. These views show how complicated it can be to live in a world that lacks clear meaning. For example, Albert Camus looked at the absurd nature of life. He suggested that we should boldly accept that life does not have inherent meaning. On the other hand, Friedrich Nietzsche saw nihilism as harmful. However, he also viewed it as a chance to rethink our values and create new paths. Friedrich Nietzsche is often linked to nihilism. He did not see it as a final stage, but as a sign of a bigger cultural problem. Nietzsche claimed that the death of God, which means the decline of traditional values and religious beliefs, created a need for new meaning in life. Nietzsche suggested overcoming nihilism. This means acknowledging the lack of clear meaning, but not giving up to despair. He thought that people could build their own values and find purpose through self-awareness, personal growth, and staying true to themselves. A key idea in Nietzsche's philosophy is the Übermensch, or Superman. This is a person who goes beyond typical morals and social rules to make their own meaning and choose their own way. Although this idea can be interpreted in different ways, the Übermensch shows the importance of personal responsibility and living a life filled with creativity, passion, and self-control. Existentialism is an important philosophy from the 20th century. It dealt with the ideas of nihilism. Main thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus talked about how life has no built-in meaning. They said that existence precedes essence. Sartre believed that people are condemned to be free. This means they must create their own values and make choices in a world without a set purpose. This freedom can be exciting, but it can also lead to feelings of anxiety and despair. Suffering is a part of being human. It can make feelings of sadness and emptiness even stronger, often related to nihilism. When we face hurt, loss, or tragedy, we may start to ask why, which can lead us to doubt the purpose of life. On the other hand, some spiritual and philosophical ideas suggest that suffering can help us change in meaningful ways. By facing pain and realizing that everything is temporary, we can gain a better understanding of ourselves and where we fit in the world. Suffering is tough, but it can help us grow and change. It makes us think about our life, what we can do, and how delicate our existence really is. This struggle might break our false ideas. It can lead us to know ourselves and the world better. Many spiritual teachings see suffering as a chance for awakening. In Buddhism, for instance, it says that suffering comes from clinging too tightly to things. By letting go of our desires, we can find peace and escape the pain of suffering. Also, some philosophical views suggest that suffering can make us appreciate life more. When we understand that everything changes, we learn to value the here and now. This can help us live a genuine and meaningful life. Looking at stories of people who have faced deep sadness and found new meaning can help us overcome nihilism. These personal journeys involve a lot of self-reflection and a re-evaluation of values. In the end, they create new meanings in their lives. Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust and a psychiatrist, found purpose in helping others during his time in concentration camps. Because of his experiences, he developed logotherapy. This therapy focuses on the human desire to find meaning in all situations, even the worst ones. Just like him, many artists, writers, and musicians have turned their battles with despair and the search for meaning into powerful art. Their work shows how people can discover beauty and purpose, even when facing great suffering. If life has no meaning, like nihilism says, how do we find purpose? This question is important for all of us. It pushes us to look for meaning in a world that often feels uncaring. One way to find meaning is to create it ourselves. When we accept that there is no built-in purpose, we can set our own values. We can decide our own goals and build a sense of meaning that fits with what we believe and want in life. In times of uncertainty about life, finding purpose becomes a personal journey. There is no set path to follow. Each person must take on the challenging but freeing task of finding their own meaning. This often means looking inward, taking action, and connecting with others. One way to do this is to figure out what makes us happy. We should focus on what excites us and matches our values. When we engage in activities that feel true to ourselves, we can build a sense of purpose that goes beyond any feelings of emptiness. Another method is to contribute to something bigger than ourselves. This might involve being kind, getting creative, or working with our communities. When we find ways to create a positive change in the world, our lives can gain a deep sense of purpose. In a world where nihilism can make us feel alone, building a sense of community and connection is very important. We humans naturally need to interact with others. We want to feel like we belong and share moments together. Being with other people gives our lives meaning beyond just ourselves. By forming real relationships, helping our communities, and supporting important causes, we can fight the lonely feelings that come from nihilism. This helps us create a supportive network that shares common goals. Also, connecting with others shows us that we do not face our problems by ourselves. Sharing our stories, fears, and hopes with each other helps us feel we belong. It builds empathy and understanding in a world that often feels lonely and uncaring. Looking to the ideas of great philosophers and spiritual leaders can help us deal with the struggles brought on by nihilism. Thinkers from different cultures and times have thought about the question of meaning. They offer many views on how we can find purpose and happiness in a world that feels uncaring. From the old Stoics, who valued acceptance and good behavior, to the existentialists, who focused on freedom and taking responsibility, looking into these different responses can help us understand how to handle nihilism. It can also guide us in creating our own ways to find meaning. Carl Jung was a well-known Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst. He had a special view on nihilism. He highlighted how important it is to understand and accept our shadow self. This shadow self includes the darker parts of our personality that we often do not see. Jung thought that to be whole and healthy, we must recognize both the light and dark sides of ourselves. He believed that ignoring our shadow self could lead to nihilism. When we push away or deny these uncomfortable feelings, they can show up in harmful ways. This can result in feelings of emptiness, despair, and a lack of purpose. Jungian psychology teaches us to face our shadow selves, bring them into our awareness, and unlock our true potential for growth and, perhaps, realization. This process helps us find balance within ourselves. By understanding the complexity of who we are, accepting our duality, and recognizing the full range of human experience, we can face nihilism better. With more self-awareness and resilience, we can have a deeper understanding of ourselves and the people around us. Navigating the existential void can feel like crossing a huge and unknown area. While it may seem scary, this journey offers chances for growth, new insights, and making our own meaning in life. By using practical strategies in our daily routines, we can build resilience, notice moments of joy, and face the uncertainties of life with more clarity and purpose. These steps could include practices like mindfulness, being more aware of ourselves, trying new things, and building stronger connections with others. Scientific discoveries, especially in cosmology, have changed how we view the universe and our role in it. We understand that we live on a small planet. This planet circles an average star in a vast galaxy, which is one of billions. This new understanding is humbling, but can also be unsettling. It raises big questions about what it means to be human in such a large universe. The enormous size and apparent lack of care from the cosmos can make some people feel nihilistic. This means feeling small, seeing no real purpose, and noticing how short life is compared to the age of the universe. But this view can also help us rethink and grow. When we take a step back and look at the universe as a whole, we can let go of beliefs about being the center of everything. This new way of thinking can help us see how everything is connected. It allows us to feel humble, amazed, and more curious about the mysteries that the cosmos holds. The idea of a universe without a God or purpose changes how we understand our lives. Without a higher power to guide morality or give meaning, people must create their own values. They have to find their way in a world that seems ruled by chance and nature. For some, this idea brings freedom. They enjoy the chance to make their own meaning, set their own morals, and live as they choose. For others, this realization can lead to worry and fear. They may struggle with the feeling that life has no clear purpose and feel burdened by the need to create meaning in a godless world. Looking at the universe, which is so vast and may hold life beyond Earth, adds more questions. If we are not alone, what does that mean for us? These questions keep impacting both philosophical and scientific thinking as we try to understand our place in this cosmos we live in. The search for spirituality in a universe that feels meaningless takes us deep into big ideas about life. We look at ideas like nihilism, which questions purpose, and we try to find light in dark times. This journey makes us rethink what it means to have meaning in our lives. By accepting suffering as something that can help us grow and by building strong ties with others, we can face the emptiness with strength and thoughtfulness. We learn from famous thinkers like Nietzsche and Jung, finding new ways to create meaning when life feels very empty. Through practices like meditation, self-reflection, and making art, we blend feelings of despair and hope. This way, we gain a deeper view of our existence in a world without a clear purpose.